Is that? Is it that time again? Is it Thirsty Thursday? Is it Thankful Thursday? Yeah, you know it is. We're here chilling, live from the loft. Look who's next to me.
Hi.
Oh, what a great life we're living here. Yeah, it's cold in the Chicagoland area, but we don't talk about the weather because our weather is inside here.
Yes, we're in charge of everything. You'll hear me talk about that later.
We're in charge of everything. Yeah, we've got a great show lined up for you today. I'm not going to say anything about the guest yet. The place is on fire already. As we go on, you'll see it slowly gets brighter. That's because Nicole is illuminating the room, and you're just going to love what we have to give you today. So thank you all for joining us, and we appreciate you investing this next hour with us, whether you're on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube. And of course, you can watch the replay on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. What do you prefer, Spotify or Apple Podcasts?
Apple Podcast.
You're an Apple Podcast girl, huh?
I am. I do both.
I'm more of a Spotify guy, but either way, we just appreciate you all showing up. And yeah, why don't we start off with the amazing quote that you chose?
Okay, so one of my favorite quotes amongst many is "Nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible" by Audrey Hepburn. And why does this mean so much to me? You'll hear from my journey that people pretty much told me what my life was going to be, and I completely broke that ceiling.
I love that.
And in so many ways.
And on that note, welcome to this episode of Live Beyond Default live stream. It's your weekly dose of personal growth. Episode number 78. My name is Dave, and this is
Nicole, Crowley. Hi.
And we are just ready to jam. Excuse me. We are ready to jam with you. Okay, you know, we always start off the show with a little bit of gratitude. There it goes again. So whatever you're grateful for, throw one thing in the chat, because we know that gratitude is the key to happiness. And of course, we're super happy today. So throw something in the chat that you're grateful for. What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for my daughters' health, happiness, safety, and love.
And they're dancing daughters, aren't they?
Yes, dancing, hip hop, and poms.
Like
mommy.
Hip hop and poms. That's a good mix.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So today I'm grateful for the hard work and dedication that I put in this week to growing my career. There was a few things that I had to say no to. There was a couple things I had to cancel this week. And I just let go. I surrendered. And I'm just grateful to be in the space that I'm at. And sometimes things are going to fall off. So that's what it was. All right, we got a few people on already. Good morning. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. Yes, we did. Thank you. Chris says she is grateful for improving health. Yes, beautiful. Chris went through many health challenges and surgery, and she shared that with us over the years. So, Chris, thank you so much for being on. We appreciate you. Stephanie. Who is Stephanie?
That is one of my best friends.
Is it?
Soul sister. We are leading the molecular hydrogen revolution together.
All right, Stephanie. Now
She's
you're gonna come on for a minute here. Make sure that you have your mic and of course your camera on. But of course, it told you yes. Fix hair.
Hi.
Hello. I mean, am I live with you? I'm not sure I'm doing this right.
Yeah, get that mic going.
Oh, wait.
No.
All right, we'll come back to you, okay? Awesome. So we're starting off with gratitude. And most importantly, I just want to share something before we dive into Nicole that, you know, the holidays are a time that can trigger people. There's a lot going on. And we're all doing the best we can with what we have. It's not easy to maybe be in front of coworkers or friends or family that maybe we had a disagreement with. Maybe we feel obligated that we have to give gifts to people. And maybe that's because we feel like we didn't kindle the friendship or bring to them our best self in the relationship. So we're kind of making up for it with gifts, right? We all do it. I'm just grateful to have everything that I want to have. And I love the experience, and I love just listening and hearing what people are doing and what they're going through. And we don't have to get along with everybody. I can name 5 people right now I'm seeing on a regular basis that I don't really get along with that well. And it's okay, because we can agree to disagree and we could still be friends. Excuse me. I said something a couple weeks ago. I said, it doesn't matter to me who you vote for, who you sleep with, what you identify as, where your career is at. If you're a good person and you're growth minded and you're doing the best you can, I'm all about you. That's it. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care if you identify as a cat. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're vegan, although vegans can be a little annoying sometimes. I don't care if you're vegan. I don't care who you vote for. Like, it just doesn't matter. What matters is what's in the soul. We're going to be talking about that a lot today. All right, Stephanie, second chance.
Oh,
She kicked off.
Dropped off.
She'll come on.
Yes. She's in Germany right now.
Oh, that's far.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, Nicole, I hardly know you.
We've hung out a couple times.
A couple times. People have seen pictures of us on social media.
Multiple.
So we've hung out a couple times. Yeah, but I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know your story. I know a little bit about what gets you going.
Yeah.
But where did it all start? Like, tell us a little bit about your childhood or where you grew up. But most importantly, like, was there an aha moment, or did 1 or 2 things maybe happen in your childhood that really made an impression on you, maybe negative, but maybe made an impression on you that you'll always remember and grow from?
Yes, absolutely. So I am originally from Switzerland. I was born in Zurich.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that. Lived all over the world. I've been to 16 different schools.
Yeah.
I was born a tough cookie. I had an abusive alcoholic father. Everybody thought that I had the princess life. It was like a glass house. I was really raised to be that way. I needed to look perfect from the outside, even though the truth of it was miserable and in dark terror and fear. So when it comes to me standing up for people now in my life, for them to really embrace everything in their life as a gift, I'm not coming from a unicorns and rainbows standpoint. I'm coming from a childhood that I had a beautiful childhood, but then it was also mixed with fear and terror. And then I was hit by a drunk driver 24 years ago. And I was given up on by 5 doctors, told that I was just supposed to collect disability. They completely gave up on me. And I was in dire pain for 5 years. I cried just by breathing. Breathing hurt. Everything hurt. Nobody could figure it out. I was in chronic pain for 19 years. The trauma from the accident triggered a heart condition, neurocardiogenic syncope syndrome. And throughout all of this, I was the light in the dark. Throughout the dire pain, I turned to gratitude. Throughout every single doctor telling me that I'll never walk again, I'll never dance again, like, just get used to it. I pretty much told them in their face, you don't know what you're talking about. And it really woke me up to recognizing that there's a reason that I was made so tough.
Yeah.
But that I have a beautiful story to share because I maintain the light in the darkness. And there's so many people going through chaos and going through dark and going through times where they can't see the gift in the moment. And those moments when you feel like there's nothing that you could find gratitude for, that's where, when you find gratitude, it's the biggest spark for the universe. It's the biggest message to the universe that you know that you're here for a purpose. You know that you're here for a greater purpose. And that's a huge mission of mine, is to really help people recognize their magic, their sparkle, their inner essence, their genius. I know that my journey has helped so many people. And it was when the world went into the state of darkness with the pandemic.
Yeah, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, that I started sharing. I started sharing my story because I was like, I was in chronic pain for 19 years and I was the one with the smile on my face. And this is the thing though. I was the one with the smile on my face, but I hadn't healed my inner trauma yet. So it was a smile and it meant something, but I wasn't connected to who I really was yet. There were so many layers of unconscious fear
Yeah.
that were blocking me from truly being myself. So yes, I was the smiley girl that was in so much pain. I was always canceling things with my friends because I was just like, yeah, I could go out and I could have 10 minutes of no pain, but then the rest of the 2 hours, I'm going to be miserable. But I'm going to feel like I have to be perfect and keep a smile on my face because I can't tell you the truth of how I am. And this all stemmed from my childhood, from not being able to tell the truth of what I was going through as a child.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
There's a lot there. And we're going to pick one part out of that really stood out. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. And thank you for encouraging us to live beyond default. That's not a cheesy tagline. That's a real tagline, okay? That's a way of life. And you're seeing it and hearing it right here. So we talk about igniting the magic in your life.
Yes.
Do you remind a little bit, do you remember 1 or 2 times as a child when you were going through this trauma, when you were breathing and had pain, when you had to look good on the outside, when people were saying, oh no, you're going to be disabled. Oh no, you're going to be hooked up on morphine your whole life. What were 1 or 2 times where you remember specifically that you ignited the magic in your life?
Well, throughout my childhood.
Yes.
Connecting to nature was my answer.
Mm.
Connecting to flowers, creating
Yes.
artwork. And honestly, like I started dancing professionally since I was 12.
Yeah.
Dancing 6 hours a day. And that was my outlet. That was my outlet to all the trauma that was trapped within me. It was dance. That's how I expressed myself. So that was taken away from my car accident.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many times in my life where it's like, I'm right there. And then the universe is just like, bam, here you go.
Yes.
But that has made me so much stronger in who I am. And now I'm a healer. Now I'm who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now I'm a holistic practitioner. Now I help people step into infinite living.
Yeah.
Which
do you
is
wear
so
heels
powerful.
too? Are you a healer that wears heels?
I do wear heels sometimes. When I go dancing, I wear heels.
I had to say it.
But I'm a mama too. So I love my flats. I love my Crocs. The
Yes.
acupressure points on the Crocs are where it's at, guys.
I know somebody else who doesn't like flats. We'll talk about that later. So Kenneth Carter says, we should all strive to live that way, Dave Lasavio. Thank you, Ken. Carolyn gives us a big heart. Sabrina is saying, good morning. And Stephanie says, so excited to tune in and grateful to have Nicole alongside me walking this journey of igniting magic in all ways. And Stephanie is in Germany, you said, right?
She is right now, yeah.
Love it.
World traveler.
Absolutely.
She was just in Barcelona.
Oh,
Actually, she might still be in Barcelona. Are you in Barcelona right now? I know maybe you leave for Germany tomorrow.
Love it. Well, let's talk about, this is a good one. Dance was my outlet too. I couldn't talk to anyone when I was younger, but I could dance and perform my heart out. Thank you for sharing that, Sabrina. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nature, what you said too was,
Yes.
and flowers. When you said nature and flowers, I was picturing flowers.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
watch the tape later and we'll see, like, my face just lights up when you said that. It's so awesome. Yeah. So you did bring up, when the world shut down, you brought up the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that was such an impactful moment for so many people in their lives.
Yeah.
And I have so much about that I smile when I talk about it, right? But talk to me a little bit about that time. What was going on with you February and March when it all supposedly started? And what journey were you making at that time? What was your self-reflection? And did you have opportunities to dig deeper?
Oh, yes, in a huge way.
Yeah.
That is when I had my spiritual awakening. That is when all my spiritual abilities completely opened up and activated. This is the thing. I had my first psychic premonition when I was 13. And it was very, very traumatic. I saw my uncle's murder the night before it happened. And because of my religious upbringing and things like that, I saw it as something negative and I shut it down. But I had a reoccurring dream for 10 years before the pandemic even came that it was coming.
Okay.
I pulled my kids out of school 2 weeks before the US did. I knew it was coming.
Interesting.
But throughout this time, I had the most profound moment. I was sitting in my backyard and we had a like an inflatable slide with a bouncy house with a pool with a generator and everything.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. Yes. And I was sitting there and my daughter was playing in it. Yeah. And in my mind's eye, I saw it flip over. And I was like, well, that was weird. No, thank you. Yeah. 2 minutes later, it happened. So this is the moment that you hear about like moms, they get super courage, like they all of a sudden like with the adrenaline rush. So I took the entire thing, including the generator, and flipped it back over. And my daughter had been thrown from the bouncy house to the sports court. She landed on the sports court. She was fine. She was like, hey, Mom, that was fun. Let's play it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on. I need to breathe. Like, Mama needs to breathe, right?
Wow.
But that was the moment that everything clicked for me. I was like, okay, I no longer see my gifts as a curse. I know that my gift just saved my daughter's life.
Yeah.
And I now got like, God, I am ready. I am ready. Fully give me whatever I'm meant to have.
Yeah.
And that was the night that I started seeing hieroglyphs on my ceiling.
Yeah.
I started connecting to nature. I started seeing things in the sun. I started seeing light activation codes. I started my journey with my spiritual awakening. And I mean, it has been a skyrocket journey. In 4.5 years, it's like I speak light language, I energy heal, I'm a satium healer, I'm claircognizant, clairvoyant. So many beautiful abilities have opened within me, but it's a true gift. I no longer see it as a curse, which is the most beautiful gift.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
What's God to you? Because you mentioned God.
That's a very beautiful question.
Yeah. We do our best to be beautiful.
The creator of all. However, I believe that we have that divine essence within us and that we are co-creating alongside this beautiful essence. So it's not a matter of being less than, it's a matter of being in awe of what we are all co-creating together.
That's a great answer. That is a great answer. Are you taking notes? Do you have your notebooks out? You know that people that watch this live stream, they're very self-reflective and they're honest with themselves and they're willing to go deep, just like we're doing here, right? We're not playing softball. This isn't like, oh, woohoo, cool. Throw the ball to me. Yay, catch. This is like, no, we're going to dig deep. This is what life is about.
Yeah.
And let's figure out what's going on within and bring people on the journey, right?
Yes.
We got some great comments here. If you're just joining us, it's Live Beyond Default live stream, episode number 78. We're here with Nicole. We are igniting the magic in your life. All right. So Robin says, has she read The Painful Truth? Nicole might be extremely interested as well as a contributor. Also an NPR program that goes deep on pain, Control et al.
Ooh, I have not heard of that. So I'm going to have to add that to my list. I have a lot of books that I'm currently reading.
Thank you, Robin. Love you, Salt Lake City. Robin is a advocate for homeless. He wrote a book on the homeless, and he also is a photographer for Getty Images. And when I mean for Getty Images, like they send him to North Korea.
Yeah.
He goes to, he's flying over burning forests and forest fires in a helicopter, getting burned and going to the hospital.
My uncle,
everywhere they're sending this guy.
My uncle that was murdered was the photographer for Wild Kingdom.
Stop.
And he was filming a military documentary in Costa Rica where he got shot through the back by a 13-year-old in an alley.
Oh my gosh.
Special soul, just like you, Robin.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris says, embrace your gifts. They do come from God. Thank you for sharing your experience, strength, and hope. Thank you, Chris. And Robin has a copy for you.
Oh,
well,
thank you.
I'm going to share a little bit about deep diving into 2020. Yeah. I had a transformational moment sitting here on the blue chairs, right? Live from the loft. And I really came up with, it really did well for me. A lot of people went through pain. There was death. At the same time, so much came up that was brewing that needed to come up in all of us and the world. And just remember, it's 2024 right now. Let's keep our eyes on our prize and what we're focusing on and bringing value and love to the world. There are so many distractions right now. And my concern is that many of us, it's going to be 2030. We're going to be autonomous cars. We're going to have chips in our head. People are going to be living on Mars, and people are going to be like, what the heck happened these last 10 years? Yeah. So that's a little bit of like a check-in for all of us. Like, look at what you're doing throughout the day, because I got to sit here for so long, I switched my career. I switched a lot of people who I was surrounding myself with, and I changed the relationship with myself and really got deep and got more honest with myself. Like, hey man, you're kind of messed up in some ways. Like, you need to fix this stuff if you want to live an epic life, and most importantly, bring value and abundance to others and co-create, right? Like, if I'm not working on myself, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I dove really deep. I highly recommend reading the book, The Alchemist.
Oh, amazing. The Alchemist is a go-to.
Oh my gosh.
The Celestine Prophecy is a go-to. I mean, there's so many beautiful, beautiful, amazing books. I'm actually going to be launching a virtual book club for manifestation, self-mastery, and higher living.
Look at that.
So it's going to be really, really epic. There's a lot of things that I'm birthing into the world.
I love it. Yes. And let's keep birthing right here as we're talking. Do you notice I said birth right here as we keep talking? Okay. So tell us what lights you up. Like, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What happens when you don't feel like doing something?
Yeah.
But I know it's all about being, but there are things we have to do. When you don't feel like doing something, how do you get through that?
Okay. So when you do not feel like doing something, my very first tip is to work with your life force energy. So we have life force energy flowing throughout us. We have meridian pathways that are actually connected to our organs, that are connected to certain emotions, that are connected to certain spiritual abilities, different things. It's a untapped well.
Got it.
Of possibility that a lot of people don't know about.
Okay.
So Qigong is amazing. I love
Explain
Qigong.
a little bit about that. I'm going to adjust something, but keep talking.
So Qigong is a beautiful, it's kind of like a intentional meditation movement. So it's very, very simple. It's not as complex as Tai Chi and things like that, but simply just like hitting specific acupressure points in your body. It's Qigong. Moving your pelvis to the left in a circular motion helps alleviate and support your liver. Your liver is connected to suppressed frustration and anger in 5-element theory, which is what I work with as an emotional resonance clearing practitioner. So there's so many things that when you feel, first of all, when you feel like you're stuck in something, like you're supposed to do something, but you feel stuck, tap into your body. Your body knows the answer to everything. So you can actually muscle test. One of the easiest ways.
Muscle test? What's that?
So there's a sway test and a finger. So I know.
I'm moving stuff again. Keep talking.
Okay.
This is what I love about live.
Yes. Okay. So our bodies have all the answers. So our bodies, 99.9% of our molecules are water. Water holds and imprints information. It holds memory. If you look at Dr. Emoto, you look at Beta Austin's work, Dr. Emoto had a group of transcendental meditators focus a word, a emotion behind that word, and belief behind that word towards water. He would freeze it. He would show the molecular structure would change. You could see a crystalline structure for love and grace and beauty, and a brown mucky structure doesn't even look like a structure, doesn't even look like water for hate and crime and things like that.
I've heard about that.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
So we have this within us. 99.9% of our molecules are water.
Yeah.
We know now that water imprints information, holds information. So the answers to everything are actually within us because everything exists. So water is the one thing that has always existed. It changes from water to a gaseous state to a solid as ice, right? And you know that it imprints information. It's always been here for all of time. So it literally holds the ancient wisdom. And we have what's called junk DNA in our bodies, but this is actually where the answers lie. So I work in the Akashic field. It's where you connect to your masters, teachers, loved ones, and guides, past, present, future. I can connect to them. I can bring you through. We can get divine guidance.
Yeah, I like that.
But ultimately, I've gotten downloads and downloads, pretty much divine insight throughout the years that the Akashic is in every drop of water, specifically like in the ocean. When you're in the ocean, you're in the Akashic. You're in the possibility of all. And so we have the water within us. So when it comes to a question specifically, it could be something so silly as like, what should I eat this today? Is this what my body desires? Or it could be something really big. But you can do a sway test. So you stand up and first of all, you decide your yes and no. So you say to your body, show me your yes. And then your body actually starts to sway forward. And then show me your no. And your body starts to sway back.
I never heard that.
Oh yeah. So you can hold a food and be like, does my body need this right now? Or does my body want this right now? And if it's a no, you're going to lean back. And if it's a yes, you're going to lean forward. You can also do this with your fingers. So you can interlock your thumb and your pointer finger on both hands like this.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, is my name Michelle? No. Okay. Is my name Nicole? Yes. So it doesn't break. But there's the thing with muscle testing with your hands is you have to trust the answer. For beginners, the sway test is a really good way because you can't ignore, like you literally, sometimes your body just gets thrown forward and you're like, got it. Yep. That's a yes. Soul yes, I'm going. Right. But there's so many times when you feel stuck that you can come to your body and you can connect. You can increase your life force energy by just moving your body. Even if you don't want to dedicate yourself to Qigong, shake your ass. Put on an amazing song that you love.
What's the thing you said? Shake your ass?
Shake your ass.
Okay.
Put on an amazing song that you love and shake your ass. That's getting your life force energy moving. Whether you're like, consciously connected to Qigong or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, what is going on within me? And just close your eyes, sit in silence, and listen to the answer your body is telling you.
Listen to the answer your body is telling you.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Why is it so hard for us to listen?
I know. Well,
I'm asking us.
No,
I'm not saying you, them, anybody. Why is it so hard for us to listen to our bodies?
Because we are disconnected from nature. We are disconnected from the balance and harmony that we're meant to have with nature, with the yin and yang, with the energies of the universe. And we are in a culture where immediate gratification is what is expected. We cannot pause. We cannot wait. Look at us. I mean, we used to, connect to the internet and it took a couple minutes and that's just how it was.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a 3-second delay, we're calling Xfinity. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We're like complaining, right? We're going to the opposite of what we should be doing, which is really turning within.
Yeah.
Connecting to nature. All the elements in the world, fire, earth, metal, water, wood, are outside of us, but they're within us as well. And they hold psycho-spiritual aspects as well as physiological aspects in our body. This is something I am very, very passionate about. Wow. So when it comes to listening and allowing yourself to be in the void, the void, the pause, that moment that you're scared of, that's actually the moment of infinite possibility when it comes to the quantum.
That moment that you're scared of.
That moment is the moment you get to decide and create from. Everything is possible to you. And that's scary. That's scary to a collective that is used to just following in a way, not setting your own path. Authenticity is the highest vibrational frequency there is. Authenticity is the most important piece you can have.
Yes.
And when you truly, you need this piece where you love yourself so deeply that you can truly be yourself. And when you truly love yourself and you can be yourself, then you trust what you're about to create in the void. And that is what people are subconsciously afraid of. We're actually born with 7 generations of conditioning and programming in our DNA. Not even including, like I just said, water holds information, water imprints information.
Right.
Not just the good, but the bad too.
Right.
So it's within our DNA, it's within our bodies.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really important to continue to remember our beautiful soul, our sparkle, our spirit, who we are, and let that take center stage.
You would not believe the feeling and the energy in the loft right now. Like, we're on the top floor already, but we're not even on floor 7 anymore. We're on floor 107 at this point. Like, you would not believe what's actually happening right here. And I got to go out and earn a paycheck, Nicole. I got to take care of kids. Like, the world is set up for like drive-throughs and eat shitty food and derp on social media and do all these things. Like, it's really hard to tap in, isn't it?
It is.
But
that's where you can listen to other people's stories and you can see the impact of them choosing to align. You can see the impact that they're creating. You can see the path that they're creating. We're really in a new time where we are redefining the business paradigm. We are redefining ways of communicating with one another. We are redefining our oneness. We are stepping more into our oneness. The more that people
agree
do
with
this,
that.
we're beacons of light that inspire others to do so as well. So in the chaos, amidst the chaos of just getting used to getting home from work, complaining about work, seeing who had the worst day, turning on
Seeing you
Netflix,
at
watching
the
it for 6 hours, whatever it is, right?
Seeing you at the worst day. Yes,
I'm not
it's
like,
true.
yeah, I used to live
It's
in
so
an apartment where like it would be like a competition of who gets the dessert that night, who had the worst day.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
are you kidding me? There's so much to life.
Yeah.
I believe that it's probably part of my journey because so many things were taken away from me that were my life,
Yeah.
that ignited my soul.
Yes.
But I still found myself yet again and again and again. And it's like, when you feel like it's too hard to stay on this journey, find somebody that you look up to. Find somebody. But here's the thing. This is a really important piece. Never put anybody on a pedestal. Anybody. Because the thing is, anything that you admire in somebody else, you would not be able to see if it was not already yours.
Say that last line again. Don't put anybody on a pedestal, but then what?
Anything that you admire in somebody else, you wouldn't even be able to see or recognize if it wasn't already in you, if it wasn't already yours.
Boom.
Don't ever put anybody on a pedestal.
Boom.
So follow Joe Dispenza, follow Lewis Howes, whoever you want. Use them for inspiration when you need those moments to remember to align. But just remember, they're a reflection of you. You are the magic. You are the genius.
Tweet that, social media, Sarah. I love that. That is so good, because think about this. Like, we're admiring others. We're putting them on a pedestal. We think they're so great.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is because it's something that we already have in us.
Yes. That changed everything in my dating world when I was single.
End of the show.
Everything.
Bye. Click. We're done. That is a takeaway. Are we writing this down? Are we hitting the replay button after we're watching this on the replay? Are we rewinding it? Like, this is genius. Love this.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Remember, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on YouTube. And you can also get on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just a reminder what you're doing right now. If you're watching live, maybe you're at work, maybe you're listening while you're driving, maybe you're on the treadmill, or maybe you're just doing some things around the home. You got it on in the background. We so appreciate you watching. We are totally diving into igniting our magic, what's going on in Nicole's life and how she's taken certain trauma and certain experiences in her younger life and brought them to the world, and then even got knocked down again, but then kept rising up. And now she's sharing it with all of us. And this is really a celebration about Nicole. There's so much to celebrate. I am fired the F up, and we're going to keep going.
I'm healthier than I've ever been.
How can you not be fired? Look at that smile. It's just like the smile and everything. It's like, oh my gosh. So we were getting set up for the show. This is pretty funny. And all of a sudden I get this text, right? I'm getting dressed or something. Who knows? And she's like, oh my gosh, I got here early. I'm downstairs getting coffee. What do you want? And I'm like, she's already here. Like, she's fired up. Like, I love this. It's just absolutely amazing. I appreciate that. Yeah. So give us, like, you've talked about a few things, but give us just 2 or 3 ways right now, like actionable takeaways that we can do to tap into our magic.
Okay.
Just the simple ones, because you brought up a lot of it and you kind of mixed it in everything you were talking about.
Yes.
Like, we're all going home tonight. What can we do before we go to bed? What can we do when we get home after work? Or what can we do in the morning to allow us to tap into that magic? Give us 2 or 3 things.
The very first thing is gratitude, as we already approached on, but in a whole new way. At a level that you're going to be like, Nicole, that's crazy. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because trust me, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So as soon as you wake up in the morning,
okay.
At the start of the day, I actually don't like to say the word morning. I'm very cautious of the words that I say.
Got it.
As soon as you wake up, before you even open your eyes, I'm grateful for my ability to see. Before you even hear something, I'm grateful for my ability to hear the beautiful melodies of the universe. And then take your hand to your heart. I'm grateful for my ability to feel the love that is pouring into me. I'm grateful for my ability to exist in such a magical world and be a piece of that. You can take gratitude and take it to the next level, and you can turn it into an affirmation that stirs your soul. But gratitude is so, so important, because are we ever really grateful for our breath? Do we take the time to recognize the automatic responses in our body we take for granted?
Yeah.
We always have a moment for gratitude, no matter what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
If our heart is beating and we're able to breathe, we're grateful. And so specifically when it comes to 5-element theory and nourishing your body in the aspect of manifestation, gratitude of the nourishment that's coming into your body is key. So this is where you make eating a sacred moment. And you express gratitude for the nourishment you're going to receive. And you're very cautious. This is the piece. This is where intentional and aware living comes in.
Yeah.
Because you're very cautious. You don't eat when you're stressed. You don't eat when you're worried. You don't eat when you're angry.
Okay.
Because you're actually imprinting that frequency, that energy into your body, because it's coming in through the nourishment that you're taking in. And it gets stuck and stagnant in your organs. And it leads to so many different things in your life.
Yeah.
Your body is continuously speaking to you. You're just not listening. Are you listening? That's the question. But gratitude is key. Gratitude is the way that you can really align whatever frictional frequency you're in. You can align yourself to a higher level.
Love it.
Gratitude would be my number one.
What's number two?
Number two is self-love. Take the time. Take the time to fully fall in love with yourself. Mirror work is amazing. Standing in front of the mirror, starting very simply with just, you look great today, or wow, you're amazing, or yeah, you're going to rock that presentation, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Anything you say, it doesn't even matter what you say, because it's the frequency that you say that matters.
Yes.
But it's you're connecting to your soul through your eyes. So mirror work is so important. And
mirror work.
Yes, mirror work is so important. And it's really where you can imprint, you can self-reflect the love that you see in the mirror towards yourself and hold it. There's a beautiful sacred prayer called the Ho'oponopono prayer. And it's a sacred Hawaiian prayer. And I don't want to say it incorrectly. There's a specific order, but I believe it's I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, forgive me. I don't remember the order of those four, but it's something like that.
Okay.
But it's so important when it comes to really embracing pure eternal love for self.
Yeah.
Because every interaction, we're a part of it. So if there is something that we're not forgiving somebody for, we're a part of it. We have to forgive ourselves as well in that part. So being intentional with this and saying, I'm sorry, because we live in a world where it's so simple to step into guilt and blame.
Yeah,
and
of course
often,
it is.
We are our worst enemy often.
Most of the time.
Right? Self-sabotage, self-bad talk, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So isn't it beautiful when you know the power of words and you know the power of every moment holds absolute promise for you? So why not dedicate those moments to words of love for self and words that you know create such beautiful impact? So anytime that you can do anything to nourish self, whether it's buying a new lip gloss or taking the time for breath work or doing the Ho'opono prayer or the mirror work, right?
The mirror work.
You recognize that it's a gift for yourself. You open yourself to receiving. This is another way that you can really receive. You just open your arms and you say, I receive. So it's activating if your body's not used to receiving gifts from the universe yet, if your body's not used to really stepping into manifesting your truest desires, then your body is actually, your nervous system is used to operating like that. So sometimes you actually have to open your arms and say, I'm ready to receive.
Yeah.
And so you do that before you even step into the self-love piece. And then you recognize the self-love piece as a beautiful gift, because then you're showing the universe, I recognize the gifts I'm receiving. And guess what? Then the universe is going to send you more and more and more gifts to be grateful for. And the gifts that align your soul and activate your soul and ascend your soul.
That's the handbook. That's the handbook right there. The handbook to happiness, the handbook to creation, the handbook to putting out in the world what you were meant to put out. I truly believe that we have an essence, that we have a zone of genius. We have gifts that are in us, and life's not happening to us, and life isn't happening for us. It's happening through us.
Oh, I love that.
And we're attracting in, right? Imagine like a fan. We're attracting in from behind the energy, and we're recycling it and putting it through us, and then we're blasting it out to the world. Yes. Life is happening through you, and that's a whole nother level, right? Before life, instead of saying life is happening for us.
Yeah. I love that.
And this is an example right here. We have so many tools that we've just learned. Yeah, I love it. It's like, I got blown away by that, but it really, it's powerful, right? It's powerful stuff. And when you're sitting here listening, you're like, well, why haven't I done that? Or why didn't I do that? Or yeah, I used to do that a little bit. So we've got some actionable takeaways that we want to do. We want to do them right away. What about now? We're 4 years after the pandemic, right? Do you have any struggles that you're going through, or what struggles have you had recently that maybe you're turning into opportunities? Maybe it's an opportunity for business.
Mhm.
Maybe it's an opportunity with your family.
Mhm.
Maybe it's an opportunity where someone came to you and said, hey, I want you to start this with me, or I want you to create this with me. What's happened in the last 6 months to a year?
I would say that through my spiritual awakening and through my holistic journey, I have been, I call it false responsibility. I have been pulled into things that I felt were my responsibility that really weren't. They weren't aligned to my soul's purpose.
Okay.
And it takes deep dedication to really, truly discovering all the caverns of yourself, the dark and the light.
Okay.
To really recognize where you belong. Because I was involved in a beautiful community that did a lot of good, but ultimately I was putting in like so many hours and I wasn't being appreciated. There were just things like that I really had to I had to step up to standing up for myself, which is something I couldn't do in childhood, which is something that I didn't do in my life, which I used to be a perfectionist. And I used to be a people pleaser, and I'm not anymore. Now I'm so true with who I am that I'm like, you know what? This doesn't align. So this is not going to be what I'm going to be involved in.
Yeah.
But that's when you know that everything is here for your highest and best good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So every signal, every sign, every kind of like, ooh, wobble, like you're like, I don't know, that might not align. Listen to that.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Because it's actually your higher self bringing you insight of who you're actually meant to be.
And that happens every day.
Oh yeah. Every day, all day.
Yeah.
Every day, all day. and the thing is, you take on titles that other people place upon you.
Oh, for sure.
But are they truly you? And that's what happened with me, is I had titles placed upon me that I was so grateful for. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing that I'm being given this responsibility and that all these people are, looking up to me in this way and everything. And then I was just like, well, you know what? Am I really truly aligned with this? I'm not.
Yeah.
But it's led me to, oh my gosh, the chaos and the drama and all that has led me to where I am meant to be. I am meant to be where I am right now.
Right here on the blue chair, live from the loft.
Right here on the blue chair.
Yes.
Here on the loft. But leading the molecular hydrogen revolution is where I'm meant to be.
I like that. Tell us a little bit more about what that is.
Okay. So,
what is this molecular hydrogen
revolution?
Yeah. What is that? I can't even pronounce it.
So it is what I term liquid light, my vitality vessel of illumination. This beautiful device, LumiVitae is the company. It's called Light of Life. Everything about this journey is magical and it has a story behind it. But my soul was called to this. My soul was, this is the most beautiful tool that brings us into harmony and balance with the elements of the world, with our yin yang energies within us, with the earth, the moon, and sun. It has frequencies in the lid that imprint the wavelengths from the sun that are responsible for life force energy. It imprints into the water. It has magnets in the base that mimic the magnetic field of the earth, so it grounds the water. Then it creates therapeutic levels of molecular hydrogen dissolved gas within the water. So you have a whole biosphere bringing into your body. And I've always been a bringer of magic water. I believe in past lives. I work with past lives as an Akashic practitioner. And I know that in the time of Lemuria, I brought magic water to the world. So this is really my soul's calling. Like when I say that like this is what it is, then this is what it is.
Yeah.
And molecular hydrogen is known as a miracle molecule for so many different reasons. There's 4 specific mechanisms. So it is the tiniest molecule in the entire universe. So 1 ton of it is pretty much the weight of 1 stamp, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the tiniest molecule in the entire universe, every single element in the periodic table will not exist without hydrogen. It's the base of every single element.
Yes, that I knew.
It's the ignition point of the Big Bang. It is literally, everything is here because of hydrogen.
Yeah.
When I hear, they're looking on planets for water and stuff, I'm like, great, but where's the hydrogen? Like that's the piece too that you need to look for. You look for water and you look for molecular hydrogen.
Yeah.
But because of its tiny size, it's able to fully go into all the spaces in our body that need support. So it's able to permeate through the cell membrane into the cell, and it's able to work with the organelles within the cell. It's able to increase your mitochondrial output. It's able to increase your chemical energy. So now every single physiological function you have in the body has more energy to do it. And not only that, but specifically this beautiful device creates hydrogen-rich water. So it's water plus the molecular hydrogen dissolved gas at therapeutic levels. It actually hydrates your cells properly. Normal water does not hydrate our cells. Normal water from nature 2,000 years ago, yes. Magical water,
Yes.
source water, yes. But it has so many contaminants in it. It has so many different things in it now that it's really not able to permeate through the cell membrane into the cell without having a protein carrier to bring it in, which expends additional ATP, chemical energy.
Yep, ATP, I know that.
Yeah, because of molecular hydrogen, its tiny size, it acts as a vehicle, as a car. The water is the passenger, and it diffuses through the cell membrane into the cell. And finally, your cell is properly hydrated. So the inventor knew Nonina. He was born with this beautiful ability to see frequencies in nature. He sees the truth of what is, not what science states it to be. So there is a cell with a cell membrane. We're used to that structure.
Yep.
He sees a cell with electric potential. So now when the cell is properly hydrated, so when the cell is dehydrated, which is the precursor to all inflammation, and the inflammation leads to all disease. So when the cell is dehydrated, it's likened to a raisin. There's no electric potential.
Right.
There's no plumpness there. But when a cell is properly hydrated, it's like a grape. Full electric potential. It's able to receive signals, send signals. But molecular hydrogen doesn't stop there. It acts as a selective, intelligent antioxidant in the body. So it comes in and it gets rid of the damaging free radicals that lead to oxidative stress, the damaging inflammation, but it keeps the good. It keeps the good free radicals. It keeps the good oxidative stress. It keeps the good inflammation. That's amazing. And it doesn't stop there. It works with a specific cell signaling pathway called the NRF2 pathway that is responsible for creating and producing over 200 different protective proteins. So now you're talking about working with the cell signaling pathway.
Yeah.
So what the cell is receiving and sending. So when there is an external invader, when there is an imbalance in the body, having all these capacities, having a cell that's properly hydrated, having extra chemical energy now to do every single thing that the body needs to do, being able to get into the interstitial spaces, whatever's going on in the body, being able to work with the cell signaling, and knowing exactly how to support you, get rid of the damaging, but keep the good. That's what makes this beyond anything as a wellness tool. I can go on forever on my testimonial of what this has brought into my life.
I can't tell. I can't tell. You're getting very radical with the installational cracks. What was that called? The installational
interstitial spaces.
Yeah.
The myophagia, the spaces. So it comes. Okay, so here's a simplified way of explaining molecular hydrogen.
I had to give you a hard time with that.
I know,
it sounds a little woo what you're saying here.
It's all science. 3,000 peer-reviewed published studies supporting molecular hydrogen's potential.
See?
With over 172 different disease protocols and growing.
See?
But a simplified way to describe what I just said.
Yeah.
Is you drink the water. It acts as a master conductor in the body.
Okay.
It analyzes what's going on. It upregulates. It downregulates systems. It acts as a Pac-Man in the body. It gets
now
rid of the
that's
nasties.
something we can relate to.
Yeah. So it gets rid of the nasties, but it keeps the good.
Yeah. Get rid of the nasties.
It's there to support you. And every single body has different imbalances. Every single body has a different biochemical structure.
Yeah.
It's never supposed to be a blanket solution. The fact that it's able to work with your individual imbalances is what makes the huge impact with this.
Yeah.
But then take that molecular hydrogen and imprint frequencies that carry energy, recovery and relaxation, and then Lumi Vitae, which literally is the wavelength that mimics the wavelength from the sun, that is responsible for life force energy that creates photosynthesis when combined with fourth phase water. So now we're talking about plasma. I won't go into plasma. But I mean, this thing even has chromotherapy. You can change the color of the water depending on the healing capacity you want to connect to. I mean, this is my baby. I'm going to show you how beautiful it is.
See, look. I love it.
Am I in love with this? Yes, I'm a crystal founding member of
great.
Lumi Vitae.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah.
I love it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's great too because there's always a challenge with having like light control in this room because the sun is so bright and there's brightness on you. When you lean forward, there's a little bit less light on you, but when you kind of lean back, you get that like ray that goes across your face.
Through my
and
third eye, let's get it.
What? I kind of like that. I was going to say, move up a little bit. And then I'm like, you know what? I kind of like when that light goes in your face because it's like you're talking about it.
Absolutely.
And I'm
lit up. It lights you up from the inside. Literally liquid light that lights you up. And This is the thing.
It goes with it. Like,
Yes.
really, I'm not.
Oh, no, it does.
I'm
It
making
does.
a joke, but I'm not. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the light on her face.
It does. And I'm a station healer. So I work with angelic light weaving. I work with angelic light language. I work with different levels of conscious awareness. There's so many beautiful frequencies that we're able to tap into. And
Yeah.
I went home and changed, like I forgot my earrings. I never do anything without my angel earrings. And
You went back?
I went back to get my earrings.
And you were still here early.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And, you know, I'm going to ask something. Talk about like imbalance and what's the deal with guys and girls? I know that's a big question.
Please extend. Like, what do you mean by that question? Because I can go into
Where-
masculine versus feminine, or
where's the polarity? Where's the polarity? What happened? Why is it hard for guys and girls to understand each other? Why is it hard for guys and girls to create attraction?
Okay.
What is it?
Okay.
Like, I see this disconnect so much,
Mhm.
right? I had Megan Wessels on a couple weeks ago. She's doing retro dating for over 40s.
Okay.
And I've talked about this with numerous people. It's like, and yeah, this opens up a lot of things, right? But I think it's important.
Oh yeah, it is.
Because there is a polarity. I
Mhm.
truly believe that.
Yeah.
And I believe that the masculine and the feminine together
Mhm.
is what really brings the light in the world.
Absolutely.
And why is it so challenging?
So here's
Why is
one
it so
thing.
challenging to talk, to understand,
Yeah.
right? To listen,
Yeah.
to you know, everything is toxic right now.
Mhm.
Could be toxic femininity. It's not just toxic
Of
masculinity.
course. Yeah.
Everything is microaggressive. Oh my God, that's offensive. It's like, WTF?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you see like people can't even talk to other people.
Yeah.
Like humans, like
Mhm.
walking up to somebody and saying, hey,
Yep. It's rare.
people
It's
can't
rare
even
nowadays.
do that anymore. I'm like, what is going on? Great. Your profile's awesome. You text really well, but you can't say hi. You can't come up or I can't say hi to somebody without somebody thinking that all they want to do is get in their pants.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, maybe I'm throwing off like BDE, right? Maybe I'm throwing off like masculine energy, but that's who I am.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to throw it off, and I'm not going to like suppress it all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's not cool.
No. So
We got enough to suppress that with food and other things.
yes, there's so many things that numb us from life and from being
And the same thing with the feminine, right?
Yes.
What's a big thing that numbs the feminine? The corporate world. How do you get up in the how do you get higher in the corporate world? By being masculine, by teaching girls how to be guys. That doesn't work. Right? That's another thing. So you're getting suppressed. I'm getting suppressed.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, we can't get together. It's like,
Well, and the thing is, there's a lot to say about this, obviously.
I have to bring it up because it's important.
Yeah. So
Right?
the first thing that's dropping in for me
Yeah.
is there's so much conditioning and programming from the collective of who you're
Mm.
supposed to be as a man and who you're supposed to be as a woman. And when we're able to really step into being fully ourselves,
Yeah.
exactly ourselves. Because here's the thing. We have masculine energy and feminine energy within each of us.
Within each of us. 100%.
It's a beautiful balance and harmony that we're meant
Yeah.
to come to.
Yeah.
And this does not mean that every day you have to have masculine and you have to have feminine. This just means that overall in your life, it balances. Sometimes, so there are seasons when we look outside. We have winter, we have spring, we have fall, we have summer. We have that within us as well. We have times when we're really meant to step into action. And this all goes back to listening to self. This goes back to tapping into your body and receiving the answers you want. Sitting in silence and receiving, is this really where I'm supposed to be right now? Am I supposed to be working my ass off right now? Or am I really supposed to be perhaps taking a pause and allowing it to come to me? Because this is the thing. When we're in constant action, then we're not creating the energetic space to be able to receive anything.
For sure. 100%.
And when we're in constant receivership, we're not taking the inspired action on creating what we desire.
Yeah.
So there has to be a beautiful balance. And when it comes to the masculine and the feminine, it's a matter of being ourselves and allowing ourselves to be ourselves out in the world. And until that happens, there is going to be this toxicity. But the world is changing. The world is moving to this because this is the thing.
I think it is.
No, it is.
I
Because
think it is.
everybody, so the most important thing that you can do to help humanity is to raise your own consciousness.
Oh, 100%. If you're not working on yourself,
Yeah.
There's no finger pointing. We're not finger pointing, right?
No,
there's no finger
not at
point.
all. We're all
it's
one.
all within us first.
Yes.
Yeah. If we're not raising ourselves up, what are you doing? I mean, what are you even getting up for in the morning? You might as well just sit in bed all day.
Yeah. And if you are in a space where you feel like you're the matriarch of the family and you are the breadwinner of the family and you have to be in the masculine because that's what pays the bills, then have that conscious awareness of that and make time to be in the feminine, right? Pamper yourself.
Have the awareness of where you are in the
Yes.
masculine and consciously create time to be in that feminine space.
And vice versa.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So as a guy, tell me 2 things I can do to actively or consciously create the feminine space for myself.
Breath work.
Wow. So every morning I do Wim Hof breathing.
Perfect.
Wow. Cool. What else?
Self-love.
Self-love.
Yep.
See? She said it again. I love it. And what about for the feminine?
To step into the masculine.
Yeah, to step in the masculine sometimes.
Grounding. Grounding to the earth.
Yeah.
And I would say affirmations, like stating what you desire to create, whether it's written down, whether it's spoken, whether you record it and listen to it, whatever it is. But here's the thing. There's so many people out there that are like, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to journal. Guess what? Make it work for you.
Yeah.
Meditating could be as simple as getting lost in washing the dishes, in feeling the warmth on your hands and recognizing the grace, the presence, and the gift in that moment.
I agree.
And, affirmations, keeping journals, maybe talking out loud is your thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have time to write down or it hurts your hand, whatever it is. Like, it's not ever a blanket solution, you guys. We're each individual people, beautiful people. We are individual like a snowflake. Each of us has a unique fingerprint.
Yeah, I love that.
No two are alike. So our answers are not alike either.
I don't agree with we don't have enough time.
Right.
And I'm not going to meet people where they're at on this one.
Yeah.
We have 168 hours in the week. If you're sleeping 8 hours a day, which most of us aren't, but if you are, 8 times 7 is 56. Okay. Now, if you're working, whatever that even is, 8 hours for 5 days a week, that's 40. 56 plus 40 is 96. We have 168 hours. That's 72 hours every single week that we have for family, for making food, for showering, for taking the kids to school, for working out. 72 hours every week. You're telling me that you don't have time to meditate or read or breathe? Yeah. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
And yes,
I do not believe it, and I don't fall for that. It's not true. It's a fucking excuse is what that is.
It is.
It is. And it lets us off the hook, and I do it too, and it's not true. And I don't like it.
It's a matter of really being cognizant of where you are spending your time and your energy.
Yeah.
So are you sitting on the couch for 3 hours? And trust me, there are times that your body wants Netflix and chill. Trust me, there are times that you just need to be in the pause and you need to unplug and you need to just lose yourself in the screen.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. But really analyze where you are.
Yeah.
Right? Where are you being unconscious in your day? Where are you on autopilot? What are you doing in your life that really doesn't have a lot of meaning behind it? And how can you add that meaning?
I know how.
How?
I know how. 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. Every 3 hours, audit yourself for the previous 3 hours for 5 minutes.
I love that.
Give yourself a 5-minute audit every 3 hours.
Love that.
Yeah.
And breathe deeply while you're doing it. Why not combine it?
I started doing that.
Yeah.
I started whiteboarding again with the sleep time and the work time. And I'm looking and I'm like, okay, so there's 72 hours. Let's break down what I'm doing there. I did this 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, I have like a 10-minute video on it. But the point is, once I started doing that, I'm like, I never again use the excuse that I have no time.
Yep.
We have so much time, and time is just a construct anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a whole nother Eckhart Tolle freaking conversation that we could have.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you time? 168 hours a week.
Yep.
You can't tell me. I don't care if you have kids or you don't have kids.
Well,
or your job or what you do, you have the time to do this.
when you have kids, bring them into it.
Oh, what? Wow, that's an amazing, and that's me being kind of, wow. Well, I don't have time to do it, Dave. You say this because you don't have kids. Bring your kids into it.
Yeah.
That's life is your kids. Don't separate them
My
out,
girls
right?
and I do intuitive dancing. We do Kundalini meditation every single day. We write in our journals together, our gratitude journals.
Wow.
They do Qigong with me.
See?
They drink the magic water.
Oh, the magic water.
All the time.
Yeah.
We call it magic water because they say it tastes like candy. It's just because their body loves it. It's being translated by their brain as candy, which I don't let them have. So, but yeah, bring them into it. And here's
bring the
thing.
kids into it.
Combine things. So you can go for a walk and you can listen to an audiobook that is expanding your mind, and you can be intentionally breathing and in gratitude of your connection to nature. 4 things right there.
Look at that.
Right?
I love it.
You can make it happen. But the most important thing, this is the most important thing, and this is what stops people from doing this, is connecting to
I'm listening.
feeling worthy and deserving for showing up for yourself in the first place. And that starts with gratitude, and that starts with allowing yourself to receive the nourishment that is already in your life and recognizing that it's a gift. The more that you recognize that it's a gift and that you are worthy and deserving of every single gift you are receiving, the more you will be able to open up yourself to receiving more and feeling deserving of it. Deserving is connected to the fire element. That is connected to the heart, the pericardium, the triple burner, and the small intestine. But this is where breath work comes in. This is where you can really, really connect to self-love, to truly knowing who you are so that you can vibrate your truest authentic self out into the world. One of the most beautiful things you can do to support your blood, which your heart regulates, right?
Yeah.
Is to drink a 8-ounce coconut water and put half a lime squeezed into it. It's going to cleanse your blood. But this is the thing. Physically, it does that. Psychospiritually, it's going to cleanse those self-sabotage words that you've spoken to yourself. It's going to cleanse those negative experiences that you've had. It's going to cleanse those lower vibrational things that you've allowed into your body through not living through awareness and intention of everything that's coming in.
Coconut water and lime.
Coconut water and lime, guys.
It's like back to these basic things.
Oh, yeah. It's so basic. So basic.
And speaking of, there's no such thing as time. What do you want to say before we close? Because we're over an hour, and I like leaving while we're on top.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Leaving while we're on top. And there's been so many nuggets in this show. We've learned so much, and I can't wait to go back and watch the tape.
Yeah, me too.
Especially when I'm getting up in the middle of it and trying to fix things.
Yeah.
That's what I love about live. It's things happen, but Nicole has just been an amazing guest, and I know she's got a couple more things to say before we go. So, yeah, how do you want to close out? What do you want to say to people? And of course, how can they find you? But you're gonna be seeing clips and more of this in the coming weeks.
So I definitely want to let you know that I'm Sparkle Nicole, and that's my acronym for Spread Positivity, Abundance, Respect, Kindness, Love Everywhere. And
Sparkle Nicole.
Yes. So my Instagram is Sparkle W Nicole. Sparkle with Nicole is my Instagram.
Oh. And
so you can find me there. But I am very, very passionate about this movement that I am a part of, that I have just birthed the last couple months. It's called the 222 Love Movement.
Yeah. And
I have a collective of energy healers from all over the world. And we send love, protection, healing, peace, and grace to anybody who needs it at 2:22 p.m. anywhere in the world. So all you have to do to receive, if you're having a tough day, is close your eyes and be grateful for receiving what we're sending you.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful practitioners and healers from all over the world sending you love, protection, peace, and health.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. So I definitely want to get that word out there. It means a lot to me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. You mean a lot to me. It's so awesome that we've come a long way since Passero, huh?
I know. I'm so grateful for. I mean, he's like, we've only hung out a couple times, and I consider him a soul brother. So I'm like,
oh, okay, that too. That too. That's good.
Like, I guess you didn't feel that soul connection with me.
You know, it takes a little. Hey, you know what? See,
got him, guys.
There's the feminine just wanting to stick it in instead of warming up the oven at first, okay? You know, it takes a little warming up for me. I don't know. It's the best. Oh my, thank you so much for being a part of this episode and sharing it. This really is all about challenging ourselves to be better, right? That's what Live Beyond Default is. We know we can do a little bit better every single day. You're watching my Facebook lives for 5 minutes every single day for 60 days. Like, there's a reason behind all this. We have intention behind this. And Nicole has not only shown us the intention in her life and the challenges that she's had that have knocked her down, but how she was able to ignite the magic within her life because of these challenges, and how she is now really sharing her gifts with the world, coming from her essence, coming from her true identity, right? I like to say, like, Shakti in flames. She's just like, boom. And it's all here for us to enjoy. So thank you again for listening, watching, and sharing the show. And of course, until next time, make it a great week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Look at us.